Hello everybody, we're back at our little build over here in Etna, Wyoming. Sure is pretty. Gorgeous mountains, blankety sky, so pretty. So today what we're going to do is work on our rafters. And so we've got to get obviously a roof over this part, which is the west side of the house. But what we're going to work on today is this upstairs here, this little loft area where the monitor part of the building will be. And these are our rafters that we're working on. With the Pythagorean theorem, we had to figure out where these little bird's mouth cuts. This sits on the wall. One will sit on the wall on this side here, and the other one that will butt up to it will sit on this wall up here.
All right, so we got our what we think our rafter is going to be. Shannon's just hooking them together so we can bring them up. And actually, Shannon, we want to do that upstairs because we don't want to carry that up too. So just do one side. So just to show you, this is where that'll sit on our wall. Like our wall comes up where my foot is, and sits right there, and that's called a bird's mouth. This allows good, it'll lay right on the top plate of the wall and give you a lot of room instead of just using this angle and not taking that piece out. It's called a bird's mouth. Then this will be the outside of the roof, the overhang. This creates the overhang right from here back to the wall, and that's called a soffit underneath your roof, the overhang. And then your gutters go on this outside. We're going to put a piece of 2x6 there. That's why we cut it at that length, because it's perfectly to let a 2x6 go along that and tie those all together. And this keeps this piece of OSB, sorry about the sun and the shadows, keeps those together when we put it up. And then we put blocking in between it. And then here's the other end. So the blocking will go, say like right here, similar. You block it almost like the floor, like that. The roof, those rafters are going to be 2 foot on center, just like our floor. And then you put the blocking to keep everything, it ties it all together, keeps it nice and straight from curling and bending. And then we'll put the OSB on top of the roof. So it'll look similar like that underneath, just at an angle like that. Morning guys, Sunday morning. We always seem to get a little bit of a late start. It's probably 8:30, 8:45. But today is starting to put rafters up on top of that second floor up there on the loft, which will create the roof line or start it. And then we figure, like I told you, we'll work our way down this side of the house, this way, or that way, sorry. And so, with rafters, another learning curve, because there's a lot of math to making your cut and finding your rafter length, or which is called a run. And so I'll show you that real quick here. Guys, this is what it looks like from up on the loft. And as you can see, the walls come up to just about my chest height here. So as I go over here, when you picture a roof on, I'll be definitely bent over. But we got 14 feet across, so 8 of it will be above my head. Probably about 8, 4 on this side and 4 on this side. So I'll be fine up here. It's just going to be maybe some storage and some sleeping for guests we'll have a bed up here or something like that eventually. But there's the window. We just measured for our rafters that go from underneath the window, as you can see. Sorry, I'm sticking my head through the window, so that's what that was. This is a ledger board. We just put a block up here to make the ledger an example of the ledger, but it's gonna go all the way down this wall. And then our rafter will sit and get nailed to this and then go across to that top plate right there and sit on there in that seat cut, that bird's mouth cut that I've been talking about. And it sits on there and then overhangs by about a foot. And that's what gives you your overhang, so. But we got pretty cool views up here, and as you can see, the ground floor is exactly 10 feet below. So, and that's how the roof line up here is going to work. And we'll have a window here at this end. All right, guys, chipping away at that roof slowly but surely. Each one of those has just been a little off, and we got to work them to get them at the right angles, those rafters up there. So it's all high work and very slow, so, and tedious. So we got today, and then we worked 3 days, but we're hoping to get that top roof out a little bit longer, and then we got to set up some scaffolding on the floor down here and up to here and along like this, so we can frame that wall. This whole triangle and upper piece has to go right across that beam and on the other side of the house there, and then that shed roof right here will then follow and get put there all the way across. So and then we can start sheathing. So morning, guys. It is Saturday, August 19th, I think. So last week we have 3 days and then 5 days to work on this house in between work schedules and stuff. So last week slowed us up pretty good. It was our 3-day week, and we had trouble measuring, getting our rafters just right, but we think we got it. So now as you can see, the roof line is coming out, and we're about at the end of the loft. So this morning our big task is setting up we're building our own scaffolding, because the rest of the way there's no floor there. So we have to have something to be up 10 feet and continue that roof line and walls along there and stuff. So that's what we're going to do hopefully this morning, and then this afternoon start building a couple more walls and come out that way. So that's our task this morning. All right, we got one side of the scaffold up and almost the other side. So what we're doing is running scaffold down each side, because we still have to build a wall on top of this beam that goes all the way down, and then a wall on top of this top plate that goes all the way down, and then eventually continue that roof line that'll go all the way down the middle here. So this is our scaffolding. We'll put some flooring, 4x8 sheets of OSB up here so we can walk up there, but it's pretty strong. As you can see, we put a tie with 2 2x4s, and that really strengthens a wall from going back and like moving back and forth. So it's pretty, you can walk up there, it's almost like a second floor virtually. So and that's what we're going to do to this side, and hopefully this afternoon start putting a wall or 2 up. So this is what the scaffolding looks from up top. We got one 10-foot section on this side. You can't see it, it's covered with some boards there, but there's a floor. And then we got a 10-foot section right here that I'm standing on. And it's just like standing on a floor, so it's nice and sturdy. But we're gonna put our section of wall right here, next 10 foot. And we got to be able to stand it up and got to be able to work up here, so we built these ourselves. It's time consuming, and that's why we haven't gotten too far, but we think now that we got this section up the other day and it went up pretty quick, and then this section was still up on the loft right here, so 4 feet of this next 10-foot section had to be up there. Then it dropped 9 7/8 down to this board, so that all had to be factored in. So I got this next section of wall just laid out right here, and I'll start doing that. And then the rest of the way down here are identical 10-foot sections of what we're doing right now. It'll have a window, and I know all the cuts and everything, so it should go quicker. Same here, just a little bit different height because of the beam. The beam takes up more space than this. Picture the beam about 11 inches up on top of that, so you got to take 11 inches off of that wall. And but that'll be identical, and those will go down there to the end. And then we got a 14-foot wall that we just got to build here, and then the rafters can get laid in. So we're going to do it section by section. So as we finish this 10-foot wall behind me right now, we'll put the next set of rafters in. Then we'll move the scaffolding to the next section, and so on. And then the shed roof out there, that's easier. It's much lower. We'll just piece those in. We got 5 of those cut already, so we'll get those in here this afternoon probably. Hey guys, just sitting here after we're getting done. It looked like a thunderstorm was moving in. Now it's kind of breaking up and passing over, so but we called it a day. We got 3 rafters up, and tomorrow we'll be moving that scaffolding down another section now. So that'll be, we're at the halfway point on the 2nd floor with the roof and everything, and now we'll move the scaffolding down to the next quarter section, and then 1 more quarter section left, and then we're done. And we are so frustrated with everything, especially the rafters. The framing and everything, we're good. We're just kind of tired of doing the same thing. It's been almost, I think, July 1st when we started putting wood up or something, or it was beginning of July, and here it is the end of August. But I mean, we knew what we were getting ourselves into. I'm not complaining, but we're ready to move on to sheeting the house, the roof, and then our roof will be, hopefully we'll get it sheeted with OSB and an underlayment on, and then we put our metal roof on. And then hopefully in the meantime, if something's delayed, we'll be doing the OSB on the sides of the house. But first things first, we got to get the second half of this upper roof done, and it's so slow going because everything's above our head or high up on ladders, and instead of just knocking it out on a flat surface, I mean, you're up and down a ladder, something drops, that sort of thing. So I'm gonna probably compress one long video into this thing because I'm getting bits and pieces. I'm showing it, I'm getting a video of everything, but for me to put it together and do all that kind of stuff, I don't have the time right now. I got to work 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. We both did give our notices to our work for Labor Day weekend will be it, and then that'll give us good 4 weeks to just cinch up everything. There's a couple little things, gates and fences that we have to fix, pack up the RV. We had a guy look at over our RV for us yesterday, and he suggests us getting at least 2 front tires, if not 4 tires, trying to get those. And then I got to do an oil change, and then also one of the drivetrain shaft is a little loose and should be replaced. We may do all that stuff on the road. You can do it on the road because there are places other than this valley's hard to find like good mechanics and that sort of thing. So we may, it's not something the belts are showing on the tires or something like that, but we'll get it all done. But there's just all these little things that we're thinking of in the last 6 weeks here, and we'd like to be out of here the second week of October. Sorry, I'm just looking because it's kind of raining and thundering, but also the sun just came out, so it's kind of crazy weather. But we cleaned up for the day. We're done. We're just gonna start again tomorrow. Try to move this, like I said, the scaffolding down a little. Start planning out the next set of walls, 2 walls, and then get the rafter up on those things. So, all right.